Hello and welcome back to Spekd for more hobbying, painting, building and some crafting. And we have issue number 75 of Warhammer Conquest. Now the next few issues I thought was going to be totally sold out because you're going to be getting this Repulsor tank and it's going to be over the next 4 or 5 magazines. So let's get this opened up and have a look. Alright, let's start off with a sprue check as always and as usual. And there's tons on this sprue. There's even fluff on there, look. It's probably from my bag. It's been in my bag for a little while. Been waiting to do this. I had a bit of quiet time. Yeah, this is just the Repulsor. I'm here trying to think of when this came out. This is recent with the Primaris models. I say recent. You can see there 2017. Yeah, I class that as recent. We just hit the year, so there you go. I wonder if this is any different to the Executioner sprue. I think the Executioner doesn't actually have the pintle mounts or the pivots there. Guns? I'm not sure. Alright, okay. So that's the sprue. The sprue is looking okay. Let's get to the magazine. This is what I want to see. So we've only got one sprue, and I know this comes over 3 sprues. So clearly the model won't be built now. So once we get all the sprues, we can start building. I think it's when we get to the 3rd one we can actually build it, because the last magazine, issue number 78, is just the stand. Man, we're so close to 80 and it's finishing. Okay, colors, design, looking nice. I like what they've done here. The purple and blue always works really well together. Their combination of like warm colors, that's really nice. Now, I've got to say, there's a challenge currently going on. Can you paint a Marine in 4 colors? I think, no, 3 colors, and you can also use black. So 4 colors. When it comes to printing, you might know this, you might not. This is something that you pick up over the years, or you know, if you read comics, you used to get those little color patches at the bottom, or maybe even your newspapers. The 4 colors used for printing to get all these colors is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, also known as key. And you can create pretty much any color based on inks. When it comes to light, it's different because this is reflecting light. With light-based items like your TVs, your LEDs, and your screen phones, that's RGB, red, green, blue. And a combination of those can make white. You can't do that with these ink colors. They just basically, you know, move towards black if you start mixing them all together in the right way, or as close as you can get. Excuse the bike. So hearing that challenge, I just thought, well, you know, what's the point? You could pretty much create any color. You can even do non-metallic looking metals. I'll just stop. It's all of this that you see here. If you can see that, you can paint it. There you go. You can use those colors on the model. Right, let's get on with it. So $7.99. We have, what does it say for the sprue there? Oh, look, see, 1 of 4. Get that focusing, come on, focus. Yeah, there we go. See, 1 of 4 sprue. So we know what we're getting. So we're getting a lot of lore, which is brilliant because we need that. Because we need something to read whilst we're going to be building. And we've got a lot of mission work there. I'm surprised to see that. It makes sense that there's no paint or no build because, you know, we don't have that right now. Oh, but look, well, yes. Okay, all right. Stats. Yes, we've got stats and information there. We've got power ratings, we've got armor ratings. Yeah, this looks about right. I know these things are tough as hell. Now, this will be my first Repulsor, so I'm kind of really happy to get this as a Primaris video. And I know that it has so many different weapons. It's just unreal. This is like the Land Raider that we saw earlier on, except it's new technology floating and is for Primaris only. And it's just brilliant. I just love it. See, Primaris Space Marines only. All-terrain vehicle, it's fast, it's got enough firepower, and it's highly defensive. Brilliant. What else has it got? So, obviously, different what pages are full now, it doesn't matter. You've also got variants of this build. So, you have one which is to carry. This is a repulsor, so it has a combination of weapons and carrying. You have an impulsor, which pretty much carries troops, but it also has more resistance. It has like a void shield, which protects it from a lot of things, kind of like a force field. And then you have the Executioner, which is more like the tank version, so it doesn't really carry so much, but it's got some seriously heavy weaponry on it. And they are great fun. Oh look, the war gear loadout. Is this how I'm going to do mine? I think this is how I'm going to have to do mine. Yeah, I'm going to have to load it out the same way. Oh look. You've got so many weapons in there in red. The whole page might as well be covered in red. That's brilliant. Oh, joy. Okay, so we're going for our war gear here. So we've got auto launchers. We've got onslaught Gatling cannons. Sorry about the reflection light there. I can't do much about that. Twin las talons or twin las cannons. A las talon. Crackstorm grenade launchers. You got your grav plates, your anti-grav plates. We saw those on the bottom of the interceptors. So if you have a look at the interceptors' feats, you'll see those, you know, the jump pack guys. You'll see those grav plates there. Fragstorm grenade launcher. I think that's the second one, isn't it? An Icarus rocket pod. There's lots of missiles on there and grenades. Nice. Okay, so Wars of Iron. What's this about? So this is about the Iron Hands. Yeah, okay, so Iron Hands, if you've gone down to your local games workshop or your local gaming arena where you play, and it was any form of competition, you would have seen these guys on the table. They currently they're like the machine smiths. They believe like the flesh is weak. These guys are like Space Marine versions of AdMech, maybe, best way of saying it, but they have all the advantages. I'll leave it as that. Do I feel a bit spicy about it? Slightly. But I am playing an Imperial 5th Successor chapter, so I won't talk too much. So it's talking about how they kind of function. Now, these guys don't really work so much as one chapter. They work as like individual clans. And as they work as individual clans, every now and then they come back together and meet up. Now, they did lose their Primarch. I think that's Ferrus Manus, is that right? I can't remember offhand. I'll have to have a look through it. And they have like an All-Father, which is like the chief, effectively, which brings everybody together. Now, Invicta Tactical Warsuit, almost said Invictus. Now, we've seen the Contemptor, or is it Redemptor? I think it's Redemptor Dreadnoughts, that's it. Where it's a Primaris Dreadnought and the pilot sits, or the wounded soldier sits inside the sarcophagus, and within 200 years they end up getting burnt out. This is like a mech suit, a power suit beforehand, so you can see the pilot in there. So in a strange way, I wonder if it's them preparing them or just using these suits because people don't really last as long. So it's kind of like a retrofitting to get the most out of everybody. But look at that. That is really cool action piece there. That's like a scene out of 300. There you go. All right, I'll stop. But there's the stats and details again. So we're getting 2 sets. That's brilliant. So really what I think they're doing is they're really priming you to start buying new items to fit the models that you currently have. Let's keep going. Yeah, there we go. So paint them up as you want, suit your chapter. Anything special here? They do have different loadouts for weapons and alternatives, which you would have seen on the previous page. When I first saw them, I wasn't so much a fan of them because they kind of looked like someone just scooted in and sitting on a toilet and get ready to go. It just looked off. But over time, they've kind of grown on me, and I promise to get at least 2 of these in the future. So making of a Silver Templar, moving on, it's falling apart. Oh no. So let's see. Making a Silver Templar. Now this is going to be pretty much the same as the making of a Space Marine. So I wonder why they've done this in particular. But you can't be soft. You can't be soft. You have to be tough. And I wonder if there's... They just speak about their home planet more so. And this was from a Space Marine Warhammer video advert that came out recently. That little image there of the guy talking to the child. It looked a little bit off, but when you know Space Marines, you get where that's going. He's going to be turned into Space Marine. The Yanari, or Yanare, however you want to pronounce it. This, I think, is the Unaid, the army of Unaid. This is the lady which is bringing all the factions together of the Yanari, or Eldari I should say, and they're making them more unified. I think that's the best way of saying it, because they've fractured out into different groups, but when they come together under this lady, she's like the prophet or the god, which can do cool stuff like resurrect people, bring them back to life. She's alright. So what we've got next, we've got the Eldari. So this is the Yunari. It's Unaids, that's it. So this is like the goddess of death, which is what was left over of they're kind of like the Eldari, like the space elves. Sorry to say it like that for anyone that's really a fan of them. I'm not trying to insult them, but it's the best way I can relate it to most people. Their race is dying out, and because they're dying out, they're being preyed upon and being hunted on by Slaanesh, the chaos god of decadence, pleasure, and extremes. She's kind of like trying to regroup her people and trying to gain power so she can deal with what is Slaanesh, which eats Eldari souls. These little gems tend to carry souls, which is like these soul gems, not from the Infinity Gauntlet or anything. Thanos, yeah, blah blah blah. But the idea is she's like their savior and coming back to help them, and she also helped to save Rabute Gilliman. So the Xenos did work with the Imperium and pretty much saved them. So here's some of the followers, some more information, some avatars and some heralds. Showcase. There we go, that's a nice showcase. I love when they do the model showcasing. It always looks so good. It's satisfying seeing like a well-painted army, especially if you're playing against one. You feel like you are really part of a story. I'm not saying that it has to be perfect, but if you can see someone's taken their time, they've done the best that they can, or their army fits the theme, even if they don't fit the conventional kind of standard imagery of that army, then it's nice. They've got a story to tell you, and it's nice to hear it. So Ultramarines, so they're looking here at chapter relics. If you're playing Ultramarine successors, you got this. You've also got the supplement book, which is out there. So this is giving us now access to relics within the game of Conquest. Make us think about things slightly differently. And there's the uses of the relics. And Death Guard gets their relics. So got the Plague Bringer and the Suppurating Plate. Yeah, those two are horrible, as in good, for the Death Guard. So let's have a look here. Yeah, they're showing you how this works out, so that's fine. So raid on the city, you are moving on. So I'm here just kind of like flicking through and reading as I go at the same time. Anything special here? Just standard battle by the looks of it. Nothing specifies as to units and what you should have to take. And they're really leaving it in your hands. I think right now what they could pretty much do is just give you like maybe another 3 mats to add to this. So you get used to having a larger mat. Because currently it sits about the size of maybe would be, I would like to say maybe 2/3 of a standard mat 6x4. So leaving out there, miniatures terrain, Death Guard info, and the back of the book. Now they're painting him up as a tech marine, but there's no way they're going to leave mine as a tech marine. It's going to be a pilot from Sons of the Phoenix. That's what I'm doing with it. And there's our Repulsor information. So it's a short issue, which is okay, that's fine. And you can see here, keeping Nurgle away. It's a short issue. There's nothing wrong with that. Simply because we can't build anything just yet. But what I would say to you is use this artwork for reference when you're painting your model. You're obviously not going to have your transfers unless you've got your Silver Templar transfers, and you can use those if you want to. Or if you've got some from other models, you can normally, if you buy a box of Marines, you tend to get the transfers anyway. Or you can order them. Either way, you'll find them. But it's short, sweet, simple. It's part 1. I'm happy with that. Don't have anything to paint or show, but it is what it is. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed your time. I've enjoyed my time as always, and I'll catch you again soon. This has been Spekd, and as always, PC